Really?
So you feel them tightening and toning instantly,
Really?
giving you visible results
Wow.
in just 6 minutes a day.
Wow. Look, I'm going to go with probably shit. Episode 5, a little bit excited.
I just realised I hold my breath walking down those stairs, trying to focus on keeping the...
To be still.
My
I'm
heart's
excited.
going.
Episode 5, and they thought it wouldn't last.
Mate,
Wow.
Very
and when I say
excited.
they, I mean we.
it's lasted.
Well, the beauty of the beauty of our thing is there are no ratings.
No,
We can keep doing this forever.
no bosses going, come
Yeah.
on guys.
Yeah, I only had 4 viewers last week. Yeah, that's okay.
Harps, that was 10 minutes on one question, Jesus.
Do I labour a little bit?
No, I wasn't inferring
Do I
that,
waffle
mate.
a little bit?
Was not inferring that.
What about my hair? There's been a lot of commentary on my hair.
Yeah.
First time.
I did tell him that Amy and I, my fiance, we've decided it's staying.
It's the first time in since about 30, since about 22 years, I would say, since I've had hair.
Really?
Because I just
Yeah.
trimmed it with the clippers.
Why?
Because
Did you think it looked good?
that was not even a question. That was a fucking rude comment and an assertion.
Well, anyone who says your hair looks good now probably thought it looked shit
That's
out
right.
before.
That's what I'm saying. So for 22 years, people are going, "How shit is his hair?" Anyway, so it's grown that I was just used to it short because it's wavy and pox and it grows like bamboo. This is 5 weeks. This is 5 weeks from baldish.
Actually, here's a snapshot from episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5. Look at the difference. Look at the growth there.
Wow.
It's amazing. All right, today, let's get into it. 3 things.
Yes.
Question
Yes.
from last week's episode. Someone asked. It's about butts and guts.
I didn't even look, but sure. I mean, I would have looked, but I didn't. As you know, I don't plan this.
Yeah.
I just turn up as told.
And then one of your whiteboard quotes you put on today, I think we can break it down. And
I'm
of
ready.
course,
I'm ready.
the
The surprise.
stupid, this is the dumbest piece of exercise equipment known to humanity.
I think you did pretty good with the vibrating guts remover.
I can't wait to show you. All right, let's get on with it.
Come on, time's money, money's time.
Yes. So this is from last week's episode. Michelle Sorensen. Not sure if you know her.
Sorensen.
Sorry, Michelle Sorensen.
I think so.
Well,
It's probably
she'll-
Sorensen.
She'll comment below.
Hello, Michelle Sorensen.
Okay, she said, there's 2 questions. Women often say if I lift heavy weights, I'll get bigger legs. And for the boys, after 50 years old, I can't get rid of the old gut. So that's something I've dealt with training females in particular, going, I don't want to get big legs.
Yeah. So both true, you will get big, and blokes can't get rid of your guts. Anything else? No, not true at all. Oh, we're going to go, what? Well, look, okay, so I always used to deal with this when women would come to my gym and say, I don't want to lift weights because I'll end up being enormous, or I'll look like you, or I'll look like a man, or I would get one of my trainers to come over and I would say, so one of the girls who was, very feminine and athletic and in good shape and had a body that, a lot of ladies might kill for, and say, bring her over and say, how many times a week do you lift weights? Invariably it'd be 3 to 5. And then all of a sudden this person would see this body that lifts weights most days of the week and have a bit of a paradigm shift. Yeah. So can women lift weights with their legs and not get big? Of course. Depends also on, there are lots of variables with this. What else you're doing. Do you do any cardio? How's your diet? If you're having 4,000 calories a day and only expending 2.5, if you're doing heavy deadlifts and heavy squats and, heavy leg press, then there's a fair chance you might get bigger legs. But at the same time, remember that the growth is muscle. But it's more about rep range, it's more about intensity, it's more about volume, and it's more about the totality of everything. So if you're worried, but also, some women do, as men do, have a predisposition to get bigger legs. Like I have quite big legs naturally.
Me too. I used to get called Matthias.
Oh, really? So So it's really just a matter of paying attention to your genetics and going, well, when I do this, my legs explode. Other people will get on and do heavy squats, deadlifts, leg press, and not get the same response.
What about for people who genetically hold body fat around their legs, around their bum? Is there a possibility of them building muscle, but the body fat hasn't reduced, so it gives the illusion of a bigger leg? Bigger.
Well, it is bigger, yeah. So, I mean, different people carry. Obviously, men are more predisposed, generally speaking, to carry it around their gut, and women generally more predisposed bum and legs. So, but again, it's a matter of getting your diet right, doing the right cardio, and then on top of that, getting your endocrine system or your hormonal stuff as much as you can in balance. And that's the thing that for a lot of people is really confusing, I guess, is trying to understand how the hormones interact with all of this stuff. And, so if you're producing excessive estrogen as a lady, then there's a fair chance, keep in mind I'm not an endocrinologist, but there's a fair chance that it's going to be hard to lose body fat. Or if you've got an underactive thyroid, for example, the same might also be true. So there are lots of variables, but can you train with most of the girls that I know that train properly, train their legs, train their upper body with weights, just end up looking more athletic.
Okay, so don't skip leg day. And the boys?
And for the boys, what was the question for the boys? Can they? Yeah.
I think she's referring to someone over 50. Not sure if she's talking about her husband or...
Yeah, but also remember that keep in mind what happens with, we really need to do an episode on this, is that what happens with blokes is as we get older, testosterone, all things being equal, testosterone starts to plummet, growth hormone starts to drop off, and so there's more of a predisposition for guys to lose muscle, gain body fat, and so on. So what we do is we counteract that with strength training, with cardio, with really good diet, and we're trying to be as stress-free as we can. So when we do all of those things, then we minimise all of those hormonal effects. We don't negate them. But yes, guys can be, I'm 52 and I'm reasonably lean, I'm reasonably strong, and I don't have awesome genetics, but I don't drink alcohol ever. I don't have bread. I don't have simple sugars. I don't have processed carbs. And so it's just getting it right.
It's annoying.
Beautiful.
Annoying sometimes, isn't it? All right, this is from today. This is your whiteboard quote. If the echoes of your past are still ringing in your ears, put on some earmuffs, step into the now, and look to the future.
You like it?
I like it.
Did it resonate for you?
It did, because, but I automatically had a question. I thought, is regret a choice?
Well, I think that's a very good question. I think regret just happens, but then there's a choice. Do we then immerse ourselves in it? Do we then, let's say regret is a little fire that's flickering. So we can then feed the fire and we can turn it into a bonfire or an inferno, an emotional inferno, or we can go, well, is there anything I could have done about that? Did I mean it? Can I change it now? Can I undo it? And if the answer is, well, no, I can't change it, I can't undo it, what can I do to maybe make the situation better? Like, my advice is to, rather than just languish in an emotional mire of self-pity or self-loathing or regret or resentment or sorrow or whatever, do something practical to create some kind of positive shift. If it's regret about something that you did or didn't do, well, what can you do now? If it was regret about something that you did or didn't say to a person, can you make amends? Can you talk to that person, have a new conversation, make an apology, ask a better question, or whatever it is? But, immersing ourselves in regret and kind of feeding that fire, that emotional fire, doesn't really serve a positive purpose. But it's a part of the human experience. We all regret stuff. Yeah. It's whether or not we stay stuck in it.
The end.
Look at you looking at your computer.
What are
you doing?
I'm looking at the comments that people are leaving. I tried earmuffs without success. This is from Karen. Yes. I'd suggest going back to the source of the echoes to switch them off, and then most definitely step into the now and look to the future.
I like it.
It's profound. She's just summed up your 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, everything really, we use metaphors all the time. And because people connect with metaphors and people connect with analogies and stories. Yeah. So, when you say something that kind of paints a picture for people, As a speaker, one of the things I teach other speakers is if you want to give somebody a message or some information, when possible, wrap it in a story, right? Because stories create emotional connection where, for the most part, information doesn't. So if I'm talking to someone about childhood obesity and I'm going, well, you know what, in Australia, the data is this and the figures are that and the numbers are that, and here, have a look at my flow chart, and people are like... But if I go, so I was a morbidly obese kid when I was 14, I was 90 kilos, I had this experience at the Year 8 swimming sports, this is what happened, this is how I felt, this is what I did about it, this is what was going on internally, externally, this is how I changed my life after that. All of a sudden people are connected and engaged because I'm talking about my life, and I'm talking about being a fat child, and I'm talking about feelings and physiology, and I'm talking about an experience, and all of a sudden people are engaged and connected, and you've got a lot more impact, and also you've got a lot more credibility because you're not talking about a theoretical something, but rather an experiential something.
So don't go and buy actual earmuffs.
No.
You don't need to.
No, it's a metaphor.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. So every week, Tommy brings something, well, every week for the last few weeks. Last week was some towels with some embroidered messages. The week before was a vibrating belt. Oh, yeah, Tommy. This week he's holding... Do I need my glasses?
Okay, this is not from where this bag says.
Did you buy this?
$5. This is a bargain. I had to drive to bloody Croydon to get this one.
Where did you buy that from? eBay?
Gumtree. This dude had it, and he's like $5.
Selling for $5. Why would you bother?
I think you'll see why it's only $5 when you open it.
There it is, folks. It's the shake weight. Oh yeah, look at that. What am I? I've never used one. That's no good, is it? Let's not do that action.
All right, I'm going to show you what the infomercial says that it does, and that's what I want to check with you.
The shake weight is based on a completely new workout technology called dynamic inertia, which ignites the muscles in your arms, shoulders, and chest, so you feel them tightening and toning instantly, giving you visible results in just 6 minutes a day.
Wow.
Independent scientific studies prove that the shake weight increases upper body muscle activity by more than 300% compared to traditional weights. The shake weight defines your biceps, your triceps, your shoulders, and chest.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to go with probably shit. Fuck off. What are you doing? What are you doing to me? I can't. It's
You know the worst thing? Some arseholes made millions off selling these things.
Look, I'd have to do some study, but I think there's a fair bit that there's probably not a lot of scientific credibility or validity in their claims, but we should give this away. I could sign that. I could sign that there, and somebody could get that in their gym in a box.
All right, to finish the episode, take us away with the shake weight.
Here we go. Oh yeah, I can feel everything tightening up, Tommy. Feeling massive and a little bit weird. I don't know. What do you think?
Cut.